sorry, did you not hear? The dress code is cozy today. Hello friends, it is Priyanka, or PM in writing or on stage here, and today we are chatting cozy poetry book recs because it is that time of year where I feel like you want to sit down with a cup of tea, even though I'm being real here, this tea is cold, and a good cozy book. So let's start with the books that I can physically show you, then we'll descend into the realm of JPEGs and PNGs, but trust me, those books still exist. Cooking. So cooking is something that everyone will inevitably end up doing in some form during the holiday, winter, Christmas period. Whether it's out of choice and you're cooking for your friends and family and it's in like a calm, mindful way because you just love cooking, or in a way where you're forced to stand around the kitchen looking like you're doing something when in actuality you're doing nothing. And in order to do cooking, we need a recipe. So my first recommendation is A Recipe for Sorcery by Vanessa Kisuule. And there's a lot of stuff going on in this collection to do with cooking in like the literal and metaphorical sense. Like there's literally a poem called Roasted Veggies, but also in like the more metaphorical sense, because there's poems like A Recipe for Release, A Recipe for Retreat. And after a few days of family during the like Christmas winter period, I don't know about you, but I need both of those things. And I think Vanessa Kisuule is really good at combining like wholesomeness and just really banging poetry and being really like witty. I've definitely recommended her book before and I will not stop because it's so good. My next recommendation is No Matter the Wreckage by Sarah Kay. Now, I'm aware Sarah Kay is like a really popular poet, so this poetry book will definitely appeal to all the people who commented on my recent TikTok saying that button poetry changed their life. Also, follow me on TikTok. But in terms of coziness, if you read this book and read the poems while listening to Sarah Kay perform them on YouTube, oh my god, you will ascend to like the coziness third dimension or something, because her voice is just so like soothing and calming, and then you have the words on the page and it's just like such a good combo. Also, it helps if you struggle to focus while reading. I've heard from a lot of my friends who struggle to focus that doing that actually helps them zone in and like focus on the poem. And the poems themselves are also such a vibe. Like there's a poem which is a love letter from a toothbrush to the bicycle tire, which if you've not heard that poem is so good and so wholesome. It just gives you those like warm, mushy feelings. And a lot of Sarah Kay's poems are from her personal life or from her childhood, like a poem called Private Parts, which, spoiler alert, is about basically her brother downloading porn on her family computer, and it is hilarious. So I think that's kind of like family, wholesome, cozy vibes. Now, I don't know about you, but I am the kind of person who needs constant affirmation, and I think nothing is more cozy than poems that will provide you with the emotional support that you will definitely need this winter Christmas season, which you will get from a collection called There Is Still Love Here by one of my favorite poets, Dean Atta. This is literally like self-love, good vibes, good times in one collection. Like, let me read you the first stanza of the first poem in the collection, which says, "You feel like a wilting garden. Gather yourself, roll up your lawn, bouquet your flowers, embrace your weeds." Is that not the most beautiful shit you've ever read? Like, come on. We need those good vibes right now. So picture this. It's the night before Christmas. The cookies and the milk have been laid out for Santa Claus. The tree is fully decorated, the presents are wrapped underneath it. The fire is lit in the corner and warming the hearts of all the family members who are gathered round the sofa, laughing and having a good time, waiting to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ the next day. And what more do you need to fill this heartwarming Christmas scene than a good fairy tale? So all the family members gather around the sofa and listen to the parents tell the children the story of... I've literally forgotten every fairy tale. Except I'm brown, so that kind of stuff has literally never happened in my house. But you know who else is a brown poet who writes fairy tales that you should read? Nikita Gill. So my next recommendation is Fierce Fairy Tales and Other Stories to Stir Your Soul by Nikita Gill. This is sort of like fairy tales rewritten and recoded for modern day, because it's described as an empowering collection of stories, poems, and beautiful hand-drawn illustrations. And the writing gives very kind of mystical, magical vibes, which I think always goes very nicely with the like cozy winter fall aesthetic. I think when you think of the word cozy, most of us think of something fuzzy or fluffy, right? Like this dressing gown or fluffy socks, or that gift that's so sweet of a little baby otter that's being carried by the mother on his back. It's so cute. Enter Otter by Catherine Applegate, which is a novel in verse that tells the story of Otter, who is a sea otter that is rescued by humans after it is injured. And from what I've read about it, it seems to give the same vibes as The Hen Who Dreamed She Could Fly, where you're viewing the world through the eyes of this animal using very kind of emotional but simplistic language. And it is also a middle grade novel in verse, so you are guaranteed some cozy vibes. Although it does start with a traumatic encounter with a white shark, but you know, it's like yin and yang, right? You can't have the cozy vibes without some trauma to balance it out, you know? Thank you so much for watching to the end if you did. If you like this video, I am pretty sure that you also like Animal Crossing, so I think you will like this video here, where I give poetry book recommendations based off the top 6 Animal Crossing villages of all time. Don't fight me on that ranking, I got it off the internet. And as always, I hope you are having a lovely day, and I will see you over there in the next video. Bye.